All right. So, hi, this is Robin, your nutrition expert, but I'm actually coming to you from the standpoint of necessary conversations. And so today we're going to talk about aging and aging from the perspective of multiple decades. And we have four wonderful guests here today representing 40s, 50s, 60s, and 70s. We're going to talk about thoughts, feelings, insights about this thing called aging because we all have to do it, and so we're going to learn from one another about it. And what's wonderful for me, I am in my 40s, having the wisdom of women in their 50s, 60s, 70s sharing details. So let's get started. Again, we have Anna. Anna is in the 40s. Alona is in the 50s, and Deborah is in the 60s, and Fran is in the 70s. So let's get started with our first question. I'm going to read the question and then I'll come and I'll call on the particular person to answer it. But the first question is, what are your thoughts on aging and how do you feel about it? What are your thoughts on aging and how do you feel about it? I'm actually going to start with Anna. We're going to start with the 40s decade. Tell us, Anna, what are your thoughts and how do you feel about it? Whatever they are.
Well, I'm taking it a little more seriously now that I'm in my 40s versus when I was in my 20s and 30s, because, it was just like, oh, well, I'm still young and I've got plenty of time. And now in my 40s, wow, seems like time seems to go so fast. It's flown by. So, yeah, I feel that way. I feel sometimes my body's in my 40s, but mentally sometimes I still feel like I'm in my 30s.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Love
So
it.
I try to keep a young state of mind, but then my body sometimes it wakes me up and says, no, you're in your 40s. So
Oh, I love it.
I'm trying to balance that out. So yeah.
It's awesome. I love it. I love it. Alona, so you representing the 50s, the 50s. What are your thoughts on aging and how do you feel about it at this stage?
Well, I'm 53,
Okay.
and I feel like the older I get, the more I'm able to understand myself and appreciate myself. I feel more comfortable in my body. I don't do things to please other people as much anymore. I actually try not to have negative self-talk and care about myself more and not be so hard on myself. So I've learned that recently, actually, in the last 3 or 4 years. So in my 50s, that's something new for me.
Okay. I love it. Now, Deborah, what are your thoughts? So you are in the 60s and you can share what part of the 60s you're in and what
Oh,
are your thoughts
okay, I am 68. I'm in the latter part of my 60s. And my thoughts on aging include just acceptance. I feel it's the way things are. And so I've accepted myself and accepted my circumstance and gratitude. I find living a life full of gratitude is very important for me at this stage. I can't get any more knowledge, but I can have more experiences. So I'm loving it. I'm loving this thing called aging.
about it?
This,
Aha, loving it. Okay.
Mhm.
Got it. Got it. Okay. Loving it. Franny, what are your thoughts?
Well, I've never really thought about aging, and that's, I think, why I have such a positive attitude about it. I just feel like we get more wisdom, we're a little bit more confident, we have more self-esteem, and I just think as the aging process goes on, I just feel better about me and about life and just see things in a different way. So I'm good with it. I am 74. I don't feel 74. Now it's interesting to hear the 40-year-old girl say that her body doesn't work the way she thought it should when she was 20. Well, how do you think I feel, sweetie? But we won't go there. I don't like to go there. I don't like to get into it because the truth is we can always be negative or fearful. And I choose the other road of just being excited and appreciative. So that's me.
That's
Yeah.
all right. I'm going to hold back my thoughts for a little bit. I think I'm where Anna is, where I'm just like entering this. Well, I said I'd hold back my thoughts, so let me do that. Let's go on to the next question. Because we're talking about our bodies, and that's where I definitely want to chime in. So our bodies, and I'm kind of reading my notes. Our bodies are changing with age. What changes, if any, have been most challenging for you to accept? And this time, right? So what changes have been most challenging? I'm gonna start with Fran on this.
Well, I don't even want to talk about dieting. You know, that's always harder. As I age, I find that that's harder. I've begun new kinds of exercising. I've done more yoga
Okay.
recently, so I feel like that's helping me feel better about my body.
Uh-huh.
And I don't wear the same kind of clothes I used to wear, so I think that's also changing all the time. Um, and again, it's just a matter of it is what it is.
Okay. And that works.
I get on the scale not as often as I used to, but I still eat healthy and enjoy food, so I'm good with that too. It is, you know, somebody else said it is what it is, so it's like move on. Yeah.
So nothing has been at this point something that's just hard for you to accept.
No, except the weight and the fact that I used to be able to say, okay, for the next 2 weeks, I can lose 5 pounds. Well, that doesn't happen anymore.
Aha.
Of course, I don't try as hard either.
Okay. I hear that. Okay. All right. So Deborah, we're gonna come back. So Deborah, what for you has been, if any, the most challenging part when it comes to the body?
Okay, well, things don't sit the way they used to. It's like I can weigh the same,
Okay.
but the say my bottom might be a little flatter than it used to be, or things fat settles in different areas than it used to. And then looking at my face, I'll look at my face in the mirror and I'll say, you know, I starting to see lines. I might see a little jowl here or there. I might see something. And so although it doesn't upset me every once in a while, it shocks me.
Uh-huh.
You know, it's like I don't feel 68. And people will say, oh my God, you don't look 68 or you don't look your age or whatever it is. But when I look in the mirror,
Uh-huh.
I see definite changes in the shape of my body. I see, and then so now I have to focus more on the intrinsic, what's inside of me,
Mhm.
and to keep myself going. Because I used to, you know, I wasn't a bad looking little young woman, and so back in the day, and so now I have to say, well, you know, that same person is on the inside of me, even though I'm definitely seeing changes on the outside.
And again, for me as a woman in her 40s, listening to you and Fran, it's very, very inspiring. Very, very inspiring. Because
I agree.
yeah, they look good, right? I think
Yeah.
they look really good. So,
It's
Alona,
coming, Robin. It's coming to you too. It's sitting near
Yep.
you.
so Alona, your what part of the body changing, if any, has been most challenging for you?
I do relate to Fran about, like, you know, I was not an unattractive young lady either. So it's interesting as you age and when you look in the mirror, you don't see that same face looking back at you. You see like a saggy neck or puffy eyes or whatever, you know, like you have to, like I said earlier, it's been a chore for me to learn to just accept myself and love myself and just try to do the best things I can, because even my physical limitations, I went to kickboxing last Wednesday and I haven't done that in like 8 years. And I used to do kickboxing all the time. I couldn't walk till Saturday. Like I could barely walk. Like I couldn't lift. And so I'm like, what happened? My body, because I've only been doing yoga for the last 8 years. And so I wanted to boost up the cardio because I've gained 20 pounds. And it's true. Like you cannot lose weight. I used to be able to lose weight 10 pounds and a month easy, but now it would probably take me a year of seriously trying.
You are scaring Anna and I.
I know.
It's the truth. It's so hard to get it off. It's the truth. But you gotta love yourself anyway and accept yourself, like Fran said.
All right, this is
And my memory, I can't remember a thing. I have to keep so many notes. I have Post-its everywhere.
you
So
know, it's funny because I think Deborah and Fran, they may have said, yeah, that's true, but they forgot to say that, right? Their memory.
I wrote it down. That's the only reason I have it down here.
So, Anna, for you, what is it?
Okay. Well, I guess kind of going back where I was saying, I'm taking it a little more seriously, even though I mentally feel like I'm still in my 30s. When I hit 40, my body started changing quickly, and it shocked me. And this is why I'm still kind of struggling with it, is because I went into premenopausal right in my 40. When I turned 40, I started getting the hot flashes. I'm not on a menstrual cycle anymore, and I'm actually 47, and it's been this way for the last 3 years. And it was slowly transitioning to no period. And so, I mean, I enjoy not having a period, but then the struggle is like, I feel like I've lost my opportunity to have children. And that's a struggle, emotionally, when I see, people with kids at my age and I don't have them. Also I'm single, so I don't have a husband and that in my life right now. So it's been emotional and physical because the weight gain. I've gained these 10 pounds where in my 20s and 30s, which seem very similar. I was losing it. So, quickly, and I can eat anything. Now I have sugar and it's like, it sits on me. So it's
We all shook our head.
yeah.
Yeah,
So I mean, I've changed to where I'm eating healthier, because I know now it doesn't go away quickly. But yeah, that's been the challenge, is just trying to understand why I quickly went. I started experiencing all these things where you start to hear that, you experience that in your 50s, or transitioning right into your 50s. If that makes sense. I don't know.
I may add a question in about, even from talking about menopause, but I really don't have this in there, but depending on what our time looks like, I may add that in. Thank you all. Thank you, Anna, for sharing that. I do want to chime in for me as far as what's been most challenging. I don't know if this is most challenging, but I'm growing a mustache and I don't appreciate that. I really, really don't. I tell you, it's like I see, I look at pictures, there is freaking hair on my lip. Like, there's hair on my lip, and I don't like it. So for me, that's my thing right now. So the pounds and all that, I'm okay with that. It's this mustache that I'm really like. So
Could I interrupt for a second?
do you have a remedy for my mustache?
I have a remedy for everything, honey. You know me.
Yeah.
No, I wanted to comment on Anna. We had adopted 2 children, and at 40, I was breastfeeding. So just like, you say that you have no children, if that's something that you want, there's always adoption. And then the other thing is that most women, my friends anyway, were all giving birth in their early 30s, and I wasn't, but I was breastfeeding at 40. So that was my celebration of that new life and the new body at 40. So that was just a little aside of aging. I think that's why I don't.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I've kind of come to terms with that's the possibility. Yeah. I just might, if I end up, getting married and yeah. Children comes up, I would definitely adopt. I can't do that now, obviously, because I feel like I think a child needs both parents. So those are my views. But yeah, no, that's definitely my option. But it was one of those things as I was, going through all this was with my body changing. Right. It was like, whoa, what is going on here? And then I didn't even think, to maybe save some eggs, in case that came about. Right. So yeah, that's been a thought now, but that was the struggle going into my 40s.
Mm-hmm. And as women, like I said, we have we're doing this conversation because it's just, we have so many things going on and our emotions and changes and everything. So thank you all for your willingness to be here and your honesty. We're going to move on to this part about cosmetic procedures. to face or nip and tuck and what have you. So let's go with, I'm going to mix it up a little bit. So Alona, what are your thoughts on cosmetic procedures?
Well, I had several children, and then I had a tumor in my uterus for 8 years. And so once I had that tumor removed when I was 38, that my skin was just sagging. Like I couldn't, no matter how much I exercised, it would not go away. So I had a tummy tuck.
Oh, cool. Okay.
But I mean, I didn't realize that I couldn't exercise it away. So I tried really hard and it never went away. So I wasn't happy with that about myself. And it was something that was in my mind a lot. And so just having that tummy tuck, it took that out of my mind and made room for, new things. So I feel like if it's something that it really bothers you a lot, and I'm all about love yourself, but sometimes we love ourselves if we look better, And I won't be ashamed if I do decide. I have never had any other plastic surgery on my face or anything, but if I choose to do it, I'm not, because I don't like this saggy neck. And all the time I'm in the mirror like, man, I'd look so much better if I just had this neck, and I'm not going to be ashamed if I have the money to do it, if it makes me feel a little bit better about myself.
I concur. All right, so I'm mixing it up. Brandy, what do you think?
Well, Robin, and the other girls don't know, I've been in the beauty and fashion and style image business for 30 years. So my thoughts are always that you can fix whatever you have without having to have anything cosmetically done. So I think you can eliminate, saggy baggies. You can get better bras. You can get better shoes if you want your legs to look better. You can cover that tummy area. You can cover the hip area. So I'm all about fixing what you have to make it look better. So that I agree with looking in the mirror. You don't want to look, you don't want to look like, ew. You want to look like, oh, I look fabulous today. And that's just the way I think.
Got it. Appreciate that. Okay. Deborah, what are your thoughts?
On
Cosmetic procedures, any kind of fixing of nipping and tucking and any of that?
okay, I think it's a great thing if a person wants to do it. I struggle with the idea of it because I kind of like me, the way I am, and I'm, especially around my face, I'm nervous. Though I would like to get rid of some lines, I would like to get, I'd like some more volume in my face, in my cheeks, because that's what happens. Sometimes it doesn't crack, but it will sag. So it's like, I wouldn't mind a little more volume, but I'm nervous because I have seen people, and I have seen stars, for instance. They look completely different. I like looking like me. I would like to look better like me. So since I'm kind of happy with the me, I don't want to do it. So I'm kind of nervous. And then I'm with, was it Fran, that I have changed the way I dress so that I try to downplay the little areas that I don't like and highlight those that I do like in other parts of my body.
Love it. Okay. And then Anna, what are your thoughts?
I'm just scared to do anything because you hear of all the horror stories. Yeah, so I'm not saying that I don't agree with it. If you're comfortable doing it, more power to you. I just won't. I'm just too scared. So, but I do try to, at least take care of my face. I don't really look my age sometimes. So, anyway, I've been fortunate that way. So I just try to cleanse, take the makeup off at night, use moisturizer. So that part, I'll try to do it naturally. Or as others had said too, accentuate or, I know I kind of gained in my hips and tush area. So I just know I need to get to the gym and work on that. But I'll take a more natural approach to changing stuff. Or if I can't change it, I'll just live with it.
Love it. I love it. That's great.
Yeah.
I'm the same. I'm scared to do it, but it's like my eyes are kind of stagnant a little bit. So at this stage, I'm not going to do it. And so I'll have to revisit it at another stage, because maybe there's a stage where I'm like, okay, I'm in my 70s and I don't care, or I'm in my 60s and I need to fix something. I don't know. But today I'm just going to let it be what it is. And we'll see how it goes. All right. So this next question is very intrusive, or maybe not, depending on how you answer it. But what are your thoughts and feelings on sex and sexuality at this stage of your life? So I'm going to start with Fran.
You know my story.
I know what's going on there.
I've always been a believer. I still am. I've always been an active person. I still am. So I believe that that too, it just goes, I've been married a long time, so that's got a lot to do with it too. But I always believe that that's part of women's inner and outer, I don't know, it's kind of like that's what makes us who we are. So I say go for it whenever, however, and continue.
So you still want to? I can ask you that.
Yeah.
Awesome! I'm so excited.
I know.
I'm totally inspired.
We've had many conversations, Robin.
Yes, I'm just like, yeah. Because even I want to just put this in there. My mother's 60, mid 60s, and she's still going at it. And I'm thinking, I like that. That's inspiring me.
That is too also an attitude.
Mm-hmm.
That's not just about your physical body as much as it is about what you think and how you feel about yourself, and that whole, that's like in your mind first, I think, and that's what makes the difference.
So it's a mental thing. I love it. I love it. I'm inspired. All right, Deborah, what are your thoughts?
Yes. Yes. I think that I did go through a period of time, though, where it was painful. I think I was in right after menopause, I had stopped, and I got really dry.
Yeah.
And that was not pleasant.
Okay.
Lubricants, nothing really was very helpful at that moment. And I went through this, and I went through a mental thing in menopause. Well, maybe I just don't want to do it anymore. This, that, and the other. And then I had lost my husband, and so I thought, well, okay, I'm done. But some years later, I found I found a gentleman. We married and stuff like that. And at first, it was awkward with the lubricants and stuff. And then I found out a thing I knew when I was young. Mm-hmm. The more you do it, the less painful it got. And so you get back into your whoever you are. And yes, just plain yes. It didn't go all the way away. It went away for a little bit. With the dryness. And getting used to your body having changed. I didn't have the youthful body. I had some self-doubt for a little while. And after I got rid of that, it came back, and I'm great. So yes.
Sharing that. That's very powerful. And actually with the dryness and the pain, I hear that so much. And that's the part that really scares me, because I don't want that to happen, but if it happens, I hear it so often that that's coming when it comes to menopause. And so, go ahead.
But I thought I was crazy for a minute, though, because I talked to a lot of women around my age, and they're like, "Oh no, I don't have any sexual drive at all." So I thought, what am I, a freak?
Yeah.
I've heard a lot of women in their 60s say, "Oh no, I don't have any urges." So I don't know. I thought maybe I was just from another planet.
I've heard more.
My planet.
I've heard more saying that they didn't want to. So that's what I thought, like, oh. But it's funny. I used to hear more women saying they didn't want to, but now I'm hearing more women in their 60s and 70s saying that they do. So I'm not sure what's going on, but I'm inspired to know that the drive is still there, the desire is still there. That's exciting to me, because I really feel like in my 40s, it's like, oh my gosh, I want it. And then I'm like, I don't want this feeling to go away. Like, I want to be in my 70s and wanting it, my 60s and wanting it. That desire is good. So I'm inspired. Okay, Alona, what are your thoughts?
Well, I haven't dated anyone in a while, so I'm at the point in my life where I'm not really interested in casual sex. I feel like it's really important to be aware of how you share that energy and who you share it with. So I haven't had sex in a while, but it's not because I don't want to. I just can't meet someone, that I'm compatible with. So, but if I do, then it's on. But yeah.
I hear that. I love it. And then Anna, what are your thoughts?
I kind of agree too. I'm not in a relationship, so right now it's not been, something to do casually. But when I was, yeah, and I mean, it's the desire is still there. Right now there's just so much going on right now in my life that I haven't put myself out there again,
Mm-hmm.
and so I'm just having me time. But no, it's there. If that person comes along, anytime soon. So yeah, I still have the drive.
That's in some cases a taboo subject, but not really, because it's nature. It's something to talk about. But I just appreciate you all sharing that information, and it might have been personal, so I appreciate that. Okay, well, we're gonna ask a few more questions. I'm still reading, so I'm looking away from the cameras. But what are your dreams and goals during this season of your life, and how have your dreams and goals changed? And are you where you want to be right now? So that's kind of a packed question. Let's see if we can do that. So what are your dreams and goals in this season of your life? How have your dreams and goals changed over time? And are you where you thought or wanted to be right now? So Deborah, I'm going to go with you on that one first.
My dreams and goals. I think I'm pretty much where I want. I'm retired.
Mm-hmm.
I had a great run at my career. I was an educator. I'm kind of where I want. Of course, I didn't want to lose the love of my life, the first husband. So in my youth, I thought, we would be here together. But other than that, I'm pretty much satisfied with where I am right now. Um, I don't have any. I'm just good right now.
That is, you know what? That's the best piece of inspiration, because in so many cases we're not good. We're, not good. So the fact that you are good is good. All right, Anna, I'm going to jump over to you on that question. So what are your dreams and goals during this season of your life? And we'll say, have they changed over time? And are you where you thought you would be or wanted to be?
Did you say Anna?
Yep.
Oh, okay. Well, well, I kind of touched on it. Dreams and goals was I was engaged in my 20s, 30s, and that didn't work out. And I just kind of went through a spell of just dating for fun. But I was in my 30s and I was dating guys in my 20s, and so they were still in that phase of just having fun. So nothing really transpired. But I've come to the point where that's the hasn't happened and the marriage, but I'm okay. I've focused on my career. I think I focused too much, and it kind of stressed me out. But goal is to set myself up for retirement. In case another person doesn't come in my life and I have to take care of me. But yeah, I mean, it's I'm okay right now. But yeah, goal and dreams when I do retire is to travel more and just enjoy life. So, but I'm taking care of me now, and that's okay.
Got it. All right, Alona, what are your dreams and goals during this season of your life? Kind of how have they changed over time? And are you where you thought you wanted to be, or are you where you want to be?
Well, I want to be retired, so I want to with Deborah on that couch right there. So that's going to be next year. I'm going to retire 5 years early, and I'll probably move somewhere in the country, and I'm hoping to have my kids and grandkids around me and just spend a lot of time with my family. I want to travel and write a book. I'm already traveling, and I'm doing things that I like to do, so I'm good. I really never had a 5-year plan as a young person, and then I got married at 18 and had children. So my goals were to just raise my children, and now they're grown. I have grandchildren, and, they're all in different states, except, Emily's here with me. But I would like to have all my kids around me. I'm probably going to move to Tennessee where it's more affordable, because I'm from Tennessee anyways, and I know what it's like there, the weather and stuff, and I'll probably move in the country away from everybody, but I'm hoping to have my kids and grandkids around me, and then I'll just probably travel a lot. So that's all I really want to do.
Travel. All right,
Hmm.
gotcha. And then, Fran, what are your dreams and goals during this season? How have they changed over time, and are you where you want to be right
Yeah, they've changed over time because now my primary goal is to be healthy. And I don't think I ever thought about the other options before, but you watch life happen and you see other people who are not healthy. And I think it becomes more important to stay healthy, to stay happy, to laugh a lot. I do care, and I've always cared about my family being with me, near me, around me. So those are things that I have now that I appreciate. And that's pretty much it, to stay healthy, to be happy, and to be around people that I love and love me back.
Right.
now? Okay. Yeah. And I'll say this about me. In my 40s, I've accomplished everything that I've set out to do. I've had everything material that I've wanted, and now I want to be free from everything. So I don't want, at this stage in my life, I don't want to own anything. I want my car to be paid off. I just want to be. Like if I want to get up and be in another city or another state, because that's where I am now, then that's what I want to do. I just want to be and do whatever I feel like, and that's what I'm doing. So, and that's me right now. All right, this is a fun question. Well, if you could give advice, I'm looking at my notes. What advice would you give to your younger self? And if you could change the past, would you? So what advice would you give to your younger self? If you could change the past, would you? Anna, what advice would you give to your younger self? If you could change the past, would
Well, I seem to have like went right from high school to college, and then goal was get a career and just work, work, work. And I kind of didn't enjoy life in my younger years to the fullest. So I would say, to myself, try to find those opportunities in between the school and career, and live it to the fullest till as you grow older,
you?
and not try to wait until it's too late to now let's experience life. So that would be my um note to self, my younger self.
And if you could change the past, would you?
Yeah, just like I said, in those taking those opportunities a little more when I was in my younger years, traveling a little more than having to, wait to do that as I'm older.
All right, Franny, what advice for your younger self would you change?
Well, I think when I was younger, I always thought that at this age I would be kind of like taller, thinner, richer, smarter. So I think that's the one thing that I would tell my younger self, is to be a little more cautious and maybe save money, maybe plan for this future to be that way.
Aha,
So that's probably the biggest aha I would have at this age looking back.
great. Aha, okay, that's powerful. Ooh, okay, Deborah, what
I
advice
think
would
I
you?
think I would have. It's really funny. I think I would have gone on to school earlier. What I did was just the opposite. I got married at 19,
Mm-hmm.
and then um, did the mom thing for a while, little jobs here and there, then decided to go back to school, then took a job, then decided to go to grad school sometime down the road. So I did have a lot of life in between, and I kind of wonder what it would have been like if I'd have done it kind of all at once. Also saving money, but I would tell myself, my younger self, to relax,
Uh-huh.
breathe. It's not
Mhm.
that serious. You are doing a great job and you are enough.
Yeah, good. I'm taking all this in. My younger self is listening to you. And so, Alona, what advice would you give your younger self?
I wasted a lot of time, I believe, looking for Mr. Right. I would probably tell myself that your goal in life is not to find your soulmate. There's a lot more important things to focus on. And I feel like I did waste a lot of time on that. And to probably pay attention to the people that are closest in your life before they're gone, especially like I feel really bad that my mother died when I was 6, but I had aunts, her sisters, and I really wish I would have paid more attention to them and learned about my heritage. And so I would tell myself to pay more attention to that, not your fake friends, and also that you're okay. I was very hard on myself as a young person, and I never accepted myself exactly how I was. There was always something wrong with me to me. And so I would tell myself to love yourself and give yourself a fucking break.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes. I think, and I want to answer this question because in all the things that I've been through, and there have been many, many things, I wouldn't change anything because this is how I get to be insightful and the person that I am. And then the advice that I would give to my younger self is I did everything that I wanted to do, and I'm still doing everything that I wanted to do. Now, some of the things they didn't, they turned out the way that they turned out. And at the time, maybe I didn't like them. But again, that is building my character, my resolve, and my strength and everything. So I don't have any advice to tell my younger self, though I have advice to tell my younger daughter. So I just wanted to put that in there and lead into that question because we're seeing this society and they are interesting. So I really want to hear your thoughts on the society and what major changes, because we have children and grandchildren and you just see what's going on. All of us are on social media, we're seeing what's going on. What are your thoughts on this society today? Yeah. What are your thoughts? I need to know. Fran, what are your thoughts?
Well, I am fearful of the political unrest in the country and what I feel I am part of, and I don't like that. I always felt comfortable that, government's taking care of itself, not to worry. But I feel now that I am fearful of the way things are going in the country politically. Really.
Yeah.
And I feel that my children and my children are doing okay. They're old enough to be on their own and understand stuff. But I worry about my grandchildren being exposed to so much in their young years, and they're all young, but there's just too much stuff out there. I still want them to be little babies and, kind and careful and not worry about the guy who sits behind you who might be pulling your hair and then taking you in his car. It's like, I get those old grandma worries.
Yeah.
So those things bother me. It's not an innocent world anymore.
No, absolutely not. All right, Deborah.
I agree.
Yeah.
Well, did you say me?
Yep.
Okay. I'm really saddened about what's happening. Everything is so divisive right now. People seem to be focused on differences. It's just a different world. And like was said earlier, I'm afraid for my grandchildren. I want them to live in a peaceful world. I want them to, I want them to believe in the things that things can be better. I can't give up hope, but it really worries me. The kindness is gone. Just plain old-fashioned kindness. It's just, yeah. I'm not happy with the way things are right now, and I'm afraid. I have fear for the first time in a long time, and I taught the kids in my classroom so many things about. I tried to reach them as give them some positivity, and then I sat back and thought the other day, was I lying to these students? I don't think I was lying to them at the time, but it's not rose colored. It's not rose colored. And so I feel bad.
Yeah. So Alona, what are your thoughts about the society today? And
Well, traveling to other countries and then coming back here, it makes me sad. I think that America, it is very depressing how everybody seems to hate each other, and the political and the racial and sexual orientation, everybody's in everybody else's business. But I don't find that in other countries. And then the way our food is processed and packaged, we're being poisoned here. Our air quality is bad. I just feel like and you know what though, even I was in Dallas recently, and the people there were very friendly. I just don't know if it's just like a California thing, but the people here, a lot of people are just really nasty, you know,
Yeah.
compared to Ireland. The people are so sweet there. Like every single person was so nice when I was there. Even in Mexico, everybody's so nice. Every time I go to Mexico, it just makes me sad for America the way we are. We want everything to be bigger and better and cheaper manufactured, but that makes it worse for us. That's, prepackaged foods and factory farming, and there's so much bad here in America, and it worries me for my grandchildren too, and even for my children. I'm trying to get everybody to move out of this country. Go with me to Ireland. Everybody go with me to Ireland.
Anna, what are your thoughts on this society today?
I kind of agree too that we've turned into an angry, violent society. I see that a lot, like as because I've noticed our communication has it's been lost physically. It's we've gone to the electronic generation, so we'll text or message people. We've lost the old-fashioned just pick up the phone and call somebody, because you could easily explain something in a conversation versus trying to text it back and forth, and then we've become so vocal about like our opinions that if and we have we all have our rights to opinions, but you get verbally or electronically attacked for voicing your opinion, and then sometimes it can turn into physical, like people will go after. I don't know, it's scary that we've lost our physical connection with people, with one-on-ones, versus let's talk through communication, or via texting or messaging and social media.
Yeah, it's pretty. I mean, I'm listening and kind of to all of what you're saying, and all the words were not good. Fearful and concerned and saddened and worried. And I feel the same way. I don't know what will happen to this new generation. I don't think they'll have a good posture because they're always going to be in their phones. They won't know how to communicate, and so it's not a good thing overall. Well, I want to leave on maybe a positive note, hopefully on a positive note. I'd just love to circle back to all of you and just see if you had any words of wisdom to share as we wrap this up. And again, I appreciate your willingness to share. So I just want to hear some words of wisdom, and I want to start with Alona. You can share.
Well, I would say my most important thing is to let go of things that are no longer serving you, and that includes people. And sometimes it's the hardest thing to cut people out of your life because they've always been there. But if they're bringing you down, sometimes you have to let it go. And that includes clothes and things in your house. And, just let it go if it's no longer serving you. And don't live your life to please other people. Take care of yourself and love yourself and do what's right for you.
I love it. Anna, your last final words. Do you have any words of wisdom you want to share?
Yeah, it kind of ties in with what I was saying about the social media, just more human connection to bring positive change. Sometimes we just need to slow down. I think we're always in a rush, and we need just to take some time to slow down, have some quality time with family, friends, and have less stress in our life, and just peace.
Yeah,
peace. Peace overall.
That's the word. Yes, certainly. Deborah, last minute words of wisdom.
Mine would be think for yourself. Don't be a sheep. You don't have to follow the crowd just because, allow yourself to be controlled. And one more object, one more thing won't make life better. So just think.
All right, Franny?
I've been thinking as you're all speaking, and I think one of the things that helps me, and it kind of answers to each of you as well, is the idea of finding what makes you whole and what makes you happy, and starting the day off that way, maybe a walk outside, maybe a meditation, maybe a Bible passage. Just be happy first. Remember that old phrase? I think I'm probably the oldest. I am the oldest one about among you, but I remember that phrase, if mama ain't happy, ain't nobody happy. And I think that's how we enter a room or a situation, a conversation. So I think we have to take care of ourselves first and be happy, be okay with whatever is. And then we can influence and kind of hug physically or emotionally other people who are not in that same healthy place. Duh. That's it.
And mine actually is, and I think in a certain case we're all looking for this, but to find your joy and really be okay with, as Alona would say, to let people go, to let things go, because in really less is more, and the more that you have, the more you have to keep up with, and a lot. So just finding your joy, and to find your joy, sometimes again you gotta kind of fight through some things, but that's my thing. Joy is so good. Yeah, it's a good thing. So you can find your joy and do you, in spite of what other people are wanting from you or not. You know, it's a lot of pressure, but find your joy. So I thank you all for your willingness to share. I will send you all a copy of this, and just it was amazing. And some cases I was fighting back some tears. I was feeling emotional. I was feeling inspired. I am going to love these bags under my eyes. I am going to shave this mustache, not shave it, wax it. But I've learned something. Thank you so much, Alona, Anna, Deborah, and Franny for your time and your honesty. Thank you very, very much.